Hey guys, what's up? It's Alexander Williamson here with the secret history inside of your aquarium. I just wanted to show you I have got this thing stocked pretty much the way I intend to stock it for now. This is the Iwagumi style inspired Aquascape. I still need to get rid of this hang off the back filter because I hate the way it looks. But it does provide a lot of good biofiltration. So in here right now, what you're looking at, and it's hard to tell because they are pretty shy, we've got some Glowlight Danios. There's 3 of them. We've got, I believe, 2 different strains of these Celestial Pearl Danios. They're a beautiful fish. They're the speckled ones here. The lighter yellow ones I just got yesterday, whereas the orange ones are from about a week ago. Also, we have the leopard endler or tiger endler with the rainbow tail, but I've selected down from all the colors to blue, like blue ice in the tail with a spade tail. So hopefully, all of these little babies will have that trait. We also have ruby tetras. There are 6 ruby tetras in this tank, and they're very shy. Also, all my fish are pretty shy other than the endlers in this tank. So also the other non-shy Danio, at least in this case, are these 2 guys here. These are gold ring Danios, and I just think that they are all sorts of beautiful. I really like them. I'm almost considering throwing a couple more in. I know I've got a lot of fish in here right now. All the scape, also we have blue shrimp in here, hoping to make it a breeding colony. This is really micro fish, with the female endlers being the largest of everything in here. So this is just kind of an update on the Iwagumi style tank. It's starting to grow algae up on top. I was also starting to get some blackbeard algae going up here, so I'm gonna have to nip that in the bud, and I want to deal with the blackbeard, but I don't so much mind this natural green growing on the stone. I think it goes well, and I might actually just let it grow and keep the glass clean and see if we can get it to look like an underwater ancient, long time buried stream. I just thought that this is my relaxation tank. The other tanks I'm always fiddling with. This one I want to kind of set and forget other than the babies. I am happy to have babies come out of this tank if they're the CPDs, if the Celestial Pearls. Also, we have the micro Rasboras, which are actually a Danio. They're the striped ones here. I have 2 of them, and they're becoming less shy. They're coming out and getting more friendly, which is cool. The hard thing is gendering any of these fish other than the CPDs. They tend to be a little bit bigger and wider, the females, but after eating, they all can kind of look like that. So if you're trying to gender them, the best way with Danios is to basically wait till they're not full, and then look at which ones are skinny and smaller, and those are generally the males, and which ones are larger and rounder bellied. Those are generally the females. That's not at all a surefire way. With the CPDs, there's actually, like these guys right here, there's actually a black dot next to their anal fin. And you can kind of catch that sometimes. This one's a female up here if we can. It's probably not going to be able to be zoomed. Oh, yeah. So you can see that dark spot right on there. That dark spot. It's fleeting, but you can catch it if your eye's trained. Right here. That one has a very pronounced one. A dark spot on its anal fin, so that's helpful. I've got some more blue shrimp in here. We've got one blue shrimp that threw a black band on its back, which is kind of cool. It's a female. I'm gonna let that stay, even though the blue dream strain I have I like quite a bit. I threw 3 more of them in here, And then we also have malawa shrimp in here. So it's a pretty full tank. So let's do one more rundown of what's going on in the tank, and I'll just kind of let you watch the animals play, because I'm really loving the way this tank is. If I sit calmly by it, it's giving me all sorts of relaxation and satisfaction. Some of these red plants may be coming out once the red and pink start to really show in these other, like, rotalas and some of the crypts and things like that are in here, now that they're starting to, with the CO2, and I'm only adding a little bit of CO2, but once those start to really flourish, we'll see how much of a punch of red I need. I had intended to do an entire wall of this stuff back here, the Rotala rotunda pink Vietnam strain, and I had intended to grow it up high to the back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I really like the way these rocks are monolithic. My only concern was if there was enough ammonia, because I usually load my tanks up, so if there was enough cushion for ammonia and nitrates being dealt with the plants. But the bottom of the tank is fairly carpeted in plants that have room to grow. So we've got, I don't know, 4 kinds of crypts. We've got 6 kinds of rotala in there. We've got a little bit of octopus plant in the back. We've got some temple plant. But basically, I'm hoping that once that grows in, there'll be some space for the CPDs to be able to reproduce. Now, with this many, they're probably going to eat a lot of their young, but some may make it through. And obviously, these newborn endler fry are way too big for the CPDs to bug. Only the mother endler is the only one who's able to eat them. And I've got the larger mother endler right now in a quarantine tank down with the shrimp, in a little box with a lid. So, yeah, let's do a rundown on the species on this tank one more time. And in the meantime, I'll let you guys just watch the flow. If you're thinking of doing a Danio tank, like a micro Danio tank, this is the way to go, I think. It's a little bit quieter, less flashy. It feels a lot more like a natural tank. They look almost like little trout. We'll zoom in on some. They like to play right on the edge of this ledge where the current starts. And that's why I moved the filter to the end, was they were all kind of getting pummeled by it when it was in the hiding spots that they like. And so they've come out more. So try moving your filter around sometimes if your fish aren't behaving as you had hoped. These Glowlight Danios are beautiful in that they've got subtle pinks and stripes and purples and things. Same with the micro or erythromicron, I believe is how you say it. Their Latin name of the Danios. They're the striped side ones. They're also called micro Rasboras, or they have a lot of different names, even though they're Danios. But essentially, this tank kind of, other than the leopard endlers, looks a lot like you would have a natural Pacific Northwest or United States. They almost look like larger types of fish. The CPDs look like they could be brook trout, or some of them look like they could be bass or something like that. So I like that aspect of it all being in miniature up here and being able to have the babies in here and not worry about them getting eaten. This is definitely a 20-gallon nano tank, if that makes sense. So back to the stock listing. Let's count this up, because I haven't sat down and done the math myself, and I need to, because this is a 20-gallon tall, or standard 20-gallon, I suppose. 20-gallon longs I generally prefer if I can help it, but this one has 2 male endlers, 2 female endlers, about 20 fry right now, which will definitely need to get replaced. I'll select the best of them and put them in here, whereas the other ones will be going into another tank and getting rehomed. probably to some of the viewers too, because I've had a lot of requests for those. These are Lucas Brett's line of rainbow-tailed tiger endlers. I'm calling mine blue spade-tail leopard endlers the way I've selected them. So I'm really trying to get that bright yellow with a little bit of blue on the top fin and a streak of blue on the tail with that spade tail, because I think it looks like a ice cold flame or something when you see it like here. So, any case, that's a strain I've been working on. The blue shrimp, those are also Lucas Brett's originally, and they've gotten muddled a little bit because I bought some local Blue Dreams also. And so that's why you're seeing the black. I should have just bought more from him, but he was out at the time. So we've got 4 endlers. We've got 12 Celestial Pearl Danios, so that makes 16. We've got 2 of the micro erythromicrons, Rasbora Danio. Sorry, that's such a confusing name that they call them micro Rasboras sometimes. Oh, here they all come. So it's cool when they all school like that. So we've got 12 plus we've got 4, so we've got 16 going on there. Then we have a pleco, a calico one that will move out of here once it reaches probably 3 inches or so. It's very young right now. And so that we've got 17 fish, 2 of the micros, that's 19. Then we've got 2 gold rings, that's 21. And then we've got 6 ruby tetras, which that would be 27 plus the shrimp and an otocinclus. So we've got 28 fish in a 20-gallon, not counting fry. And a lot of people would say that's breaking the 1 inch of fish per gallon rule, but you can easily house 40 CPDs or small Danios in a tank like this, no problem, as long as you stay on top of water quality. Just check it for nitrates, really, and make sure that you've got it well planted and a decent filter, as well as a lot of biofiltration available. It would probably help to have a bubble filter in here, a sponge filter of some sort, but I do have this on here, which collects a lot of beneficial biobacteria. So that is the setup. We've got the mini Fluval that I begrudgingly am using until I can afford something better to split amongst the tanks. And then we've got 26 species of plants in here. I know it doesn't look like it, but I've basically made this a little wonderland of any plant that I could get a cutting from friends or buying, or even just Aquarium Zen in North Seattle has been rad, and he's let me get stuff out of his tank that's, I spend a lot of money with them, so when he's got a show tank where there's a species that's not always for sale, sometimes he'll sell me a little teeny cutting of something, and I baby that until I can propagate it. So and I don't have any substrate in here that's active. It's all just I've got some root tabs in there. I forgot to tell you too, I didn't count them up, but there's the ram's horn snails, which are red and opalescent, and then there are also the malawa shrimp, which are more nocturnal as far as when they show themselves to me anyhow. Over here we've got the otocinclus. Let's see, the malawas tend to hide right in here during the day, but I don't see any, and they're nothing to write home about appearance wise, but I just like more little filter cleaners. You can always load a tank up with shrimp and they're not going to interbreed with anything in the tanks shrimp wise. So it just gives me a selection of a little gray shrimp. We'll do a profile on malawa shrimp. You know what's kind of cool is the shadow on this rock. I just noticed this looks like a perfect number 4. I don't know. There's no significance to that in my life, but I basically just wanted to show you guys what's new in this tank, what's been going on, and and all the little fish that are in here. It is stocked now. Some I might play musical fish and put some back over with my pelvica chromis in the jungly tank. All these guys are pretty small, and I hope to do a pond in a few months, but we have snow outside right now in Seattle, so I hope to do a pond and have some CPDs as well as some of the Glowlight. And they're not like the synthetic, if you're thinking of glow fish. These are just natural, or, line bred, but natural fish coming from not a genetic mad scientist. So that's the scoop on this tank right now. I've got a Fluval Aqua Sky light on here. I could get something better. I've got some powerful spots over here that I may move and mount somehow. But for now, it's kind of keeping the algae at bay off the glass, along with my shrimp and the otocinclus, and kind of the pleco, but not really the pleco that much. So yeah, it's a pretty full tank, but everybody seems to be getting along well. The fry seem to be surviving. I did have stuff floating up here for them, and they don't seem to need it. Like, no one seems to be eating them, so I'm not too worried about that. I did have red root floaters in here, and I still have them in other tanks right now. But right now, for just making it look clean and aesthetically pleasing, wow, there comes the pleco. He's not usually cruising around like that. So I guess he wanted to say hi to you guys. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed this, if you have advice for me on my tank, if you're like, that's overloaded, and keep in mind, these are shy fish. Just fed them for you guys, so that's why they're out and about, but they tend to definitely hide behind the shelf. So if you give them hiding spots, they will use them. This is the most fish I'll ever see in this tank at once. And probably a quarter are hidden right now. So they're all real teeny. They all have a pretty small bio load on the tank, with the exception of the pleco. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're doing well. Look forward to doing the aquascaping thing with Dustin's planted tanks next weekend, March 3rd. And other than that, I'll just keep on cruising along with other videos and updates. Probably on Sunday I'll be talking to y'all about a couple things. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or rants, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for engaging, guys. If you made it this long, like, subscribe. If you want to support this tank, maybe me getting a proper stand for this light or switching out a different light. I'd like to show you how these very subtle colored fish change with different lights, and kind of review a couple lights, because I've got about 6 lights right now, and so different brands, that is, and maybe I'll do a rundown of how I like those and how they appear coming up. But I also want to do another history video soon about the Congo and conflict fish there, as well as Burma. So all that's coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of each other. Take care of your critters. Peace, love, respect, and I'll talk to you later. Swim on.